Hey, welcome to Build with Vakas. Real quick, before we start, I want you to answer this honestly. Let's say you've built your voice agent, tested it, everything works great, and you're ready to hand it over to your real client. But have you looked at these security and fallback settings here? If your answer is no, this video is for you. Because this is the section most beginners completely skip. And when you're working with real clients, let's say a medical clinic, a law firm, or a financial advisor, skipping this isn't just a mistake, it turns into a liability and costs you thousands and thousands of dollars. So today I'm going to walk you through every setting in this section in plain, simple English without any complicated terms and no assumptions. So by the end, you'll know exactly how to set this up like a professional. Now, before we touch any of these settings here, I want you to think about this. Take a step back and imagine you've been hired to manage the phone system for a doctor's office. Now, your job isn't just to make sure the phone rings, okay? Your job is to make sure, number one, is that the sensitive patient information always stays private. Number two, the AI doesn't say something that could get the clinic in legal trouble. And number three, if something breaks, the call should keep going on without anyone noticing. Now, that's exactly what these settings right here do for your voice agent. This is what separates a person who does this for a hobby and a professional who does this for real dollars. Okay, so the first one up is data storage settings. Choose how retail stores sensitive data. Now, this basically controls how much information Retell AI saves after every call. Things like recordings, transcripts, analytics. All right. We have three options here. The number one option here is everything. So, as the name suggests, Retell in this case stores all the data, your transcripts, your recordings, your analytics, everything. All right. And this is fine if you're building for an internal sales team, that wants to review calls for training purposes. And there's no sensitive data involved. Now, the second one here is everything except PI. Now, PI stands for personally identifiable information. That means it has names, it has phone numbers, it has addresses, anything that can identify a real person. Now, this is your go-to for healthcare industries, legal clients, right? You will get all your analytics, call summaries, but the private details in this case are going to be protected. Next up, we have basic attributes only. In this case, it stores the bare minimum. You just get your basic call metadata like duration and timestamps. When do you use this? Well, you use this for cases where you have highly sensitive environments. You can think about your enterprise clients or anything with data or strict data compliance requirements like law enforcement agencies, military setups, etc. The simple rule here is that the more sensitive the industry, the less you are gonna store. All right. Next up is personal information redaction. Only redact the specific categories of sensitive data you choose while preserving other call recordings, transcripts, and analytics. When we talk about data storage, right? Data storage controls what gets saved. Now, redaction in this case controls what gets shown inside those saved transcripts. So basically, you have everything stored, but you select exactly what you need to see. Now, let me give you a real example. Let's say you're building a voice agent for a real estate company, right? Now, after every call, the team wants to read the transcripts to understand what buyers are asking about. But they don't want investor phone numbers sitting visible inside those transcripts because that's a data risk. So you're going to turn on your phone number redaction. All right. Now, the transcripts in this case will show the full conversation, but anywhere a phone number was mentioned, it's going to be automatically hidden. So you still get all the insights you need without exposing the selected sensitive details. And I think that's a really smart and professional way of automating this. Next up, we have safety guardrails, and there's a turtle here, which indicates that this setting will incur 50 ms latency. What does this do? It controls which categories of risky or sensitive content are restricted in AI interactions. Now, this one is really important, okay? Let me give you a scenario to help you understand this better. Let's say you've built a voice agent for a financial advisory firm. Caller calls in and he says, "Should I just put all my savings into this one stock?" Now, if you don't have guardrails in place, the AI might actually try to answer that. And if that answer goes wrong, your client could be in serious legal trouble. Now, if you have guardrails in place, it's going to restrict what topics the agent will actually engage with. Now, you could think of guardrails like rules, right? Let's say you have a new employee in the office and it's their first day. You're going to tell them, don't give anyone legal advice, don't make any medical claims. If someone is going to ask you something sensitive, just redirect them to me or to XYZ. Now, your agent follows those rules on every single call. And this is what protects your clients legally and what protects your reputation as a builder. All right. Next up, we have opt-in secure URLs. Add security signatures to URLs. The URLs expire after 24 hours. Now, this one is really underrated and almost nobody talks about it. So when you share a call recording with a client, let's say you send them a link, right? What stops someone else from opening that link? Well, if you don't have secure URLs in place, nothing's going to stop them. The link is going to work on forever, and anyone who gets their hands on it can access the recording. When you have this setting enabled, every link is signed and automatically expires after 24 hours. That's a default, but you could go in and turn or change the expiration time here. Now, to elaborate this further, just think of this like a hotel card key, right? That card key works every time while you are a guest in that hotel. Once you've checked out, it stops working. If you are charging premium prices for your voice AI services, this kind of detail is exactly what justifies that price, because clients notice when you take security seriously. The next setting we have here is fallback voice ID. All right. Now, fallback voice ID is basically if the current voice provider fails, assign a fallback voice to continue call. Now, this setting here is that could save you from your worst nightmare as a builder. Let me give you a scenario. Let's say you've built a voice agent for an HVAC company. Okay, it's peak summertime. The phones are ringing off the hook, and then suddenly the primary voice provider has an outage. If you don't have a fallback voice in place, the call drops suddenly, the lead is gone, and your client is going to be really furious, right? If you do have a fallback voice assigned, the agent automatically switches to a backup voice and the call continues like nothing ever happened. So the customer would never know that something went wrong, and your client would also never find out. That's what we professionals call operational resilience. You always need to have a backup. Think of it like a spare tire. You hope you never need it, but the day you do, you're glad it's there sitting in your trunk. So if I click on add, you can see that there are other models that give the same kind of voice. For example, I had Chemo selected in 11 Labs, and I also have Chemo here in OpenAI. Cartesia also provides that, and even Minimax provides that. So it's always good to have a backup. All right, last one here is default dynamic variables. Set fallback values for dynamic variables across all endpoints if they are not provided. Now, this sounds a bit complicated, but I promise it's not. So sometimes your voice agent pulls in live information from external systems, right? Things like business hours, service areas, pricing. Now let's talk about, for example, let's stick to business hours. Now you're going to set up something like this. You're going to have business underscore hours and then double braces around it. And the agent fills that in automatically during the call. But what happens if the system that sends that information goes down? If there's no fallback in place, the agent might say something like, your business hours are business underscore hours. It's going to say it out loud on the real call, and that's going to be really embarrassing, right? But that's completely avoidable because default dynamic variables let you pre-select a backup value. So if the live data, let's say, doesn't arrive, the agent uses your preset instead and keeps the conversation flowing normally. So you can set this up over here. Now, it's a small setting, but this is the difference between an agent that crashes gracefully and one that embarrasses you in front of your client. All right, so these were the 6 settings that help you become a pro voice AI agent builder, that help your agent become a bulletproof system. And that's what real clients pay for. If this video helped you, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow and helps me keep making these. If you've got any questions about these settings, drop them in the comments. I read every single one of them. See you in the next one. Peace.